Hey guys, welcome to Cutesy Drawings. Today I'll be drawing this cute witch version of Kuromi. I'll be drawing on my tablet, but you can also follow along on paper, and please remember to like and subscribe. Okay, now let's get started. With this drawing, I'll be erasing some lines, so I'd recommend drawing in a pencil first. We'll start with a large curve for the top of the head. And then let's close off the bottom by connecting the two sides with the curve. Next, let's move inside and draw the eyes. Here, let's draw a curve up like this. And then a U-shaped curve underneath for the eye. And then let's color the eye in black. And lastly, let's add one more eyelash on the top right. Next, draw the other eye in the same way to the left. Now let's draw the nose. In between the eyes, more toward the right side, let's draw a sideways oval. And now let's add the mouth underneath. Let's start by drawing a curve down and back up under the nose. And then a curve underneath on the left. Next, let's move up and we're going to draw an angled line above the right eye. And the same thing to the left. And then from the sides, let's curve it down. Next, let's add the skull on her head. Let's start with a curve that's open at the bottom like this. Then from the bottom, let's draw two lines down and then connect them at the bottom. And then two lines at the bottom here. Next, let's add two ovals for the eye sockets. Next, let's move up on the top right and add the witch hat. Let's start with the curve on the top right of her head. And then let's curve it around, following that same curve. Now along the bottom, let's add a scallop line all the way across. Next, let's erase any of the headlines overlapping inside. Now let's draw the top part of our hat. Inside, let's draw a curve in the middle here. And then a V shape going up to the right. Now let's erase that line inside. Next, for the hat, let's add a border by drawing a curve at the bottom. And lastly, for the hat, let's add a skull bat. Let's draw a skull on the bottom right here in the same way as we drew the other one. And then let's erase that overlapping line inside. You should end up with a small skull like this. Next, let's add the wings. On the right, let's draw a point up and back down. And then 3 bumps underneath to close off the wing. And now let's do the same for the left side. And next, let's erase any of the lines inside the wings. And when you're done, you should end up with a skull bat like this. Next, let's add the headband on top of the head. Let's start on the top left of the head and let's draw a curve down like this. And then another curve underneath, but starting from the hat and all the way down. And lastly, for the head, let's draw her ears. Let's start on the top of the head and let's draw an angled line up. And then a point coming up to the top and back down. And then add a small circle at the top. Now let's draw the left ear. Let's start on the top left and draw an angled line here. And then another one coming out on the left side of the head. And again, let's draw a point up and out. And then a circle at the end. And that's it for the head. Let's move down and draw the body next. Let's start by drawing the bow underneath her face. Let's start with a small oval here. Then from the top, let's draw curves down from both sides. And then curve it down and back in. And the same on the right. And now inside each side of the bow, let's draw a curve at the bottom. And then a small curve on either side of the oval. Now let's draw the pieces of ribbon coming down. Let's draw 2 curves down on the left, and then connect the bottom. And then the other piece on the right here. Now let's draw her collar. Underneath the left side of the head, let's draw a pointed V shape out and back in. And then one more underneath like this. Now at the end of each of these points, let's add a circle. Now let's add one more piece of the collar coming out on the right side. And again, a circle at the end. Next, let's draw her arms underneath. Underneath the left side of the ribbon, let's draw 2 curves down. And then connect them at the bottom. Now let's do the same thing on the right. And now underneath each arm, let's add a scallop pattern like this. Next, let's add her dress. On the left, underneath the collar, let's draw a curve down and connect it to the arm. And then let's add 2 curves out. Next, let's hop back up underneath the left side of the head and let's draw a larger curve down and back up for the skirt. And next, let's add a scallop pattern all the way around the edge. Next, let's add her left foot. Underneath, let's draw a curve up, over the sleeve, and back down. And then from the bottom of the dress, an angle down, and connect it to the side of the foot. Now let's erase any of the overlapping lines inside. And lastly, let's add a curve inside on the left. Next, let's move under the right arm and add the hand. We'll start with the finger down and up, and then a curve across. Now for the bottom of the hand, let's draw a curve over and back up at the bottom. Next, let's add her other foot. On the right side of her arm, let's draw a curve down and back up. And then inside, a curve at the top left. And lastly, let's add the broom. Next to the right hand, let's draw 2 curves up and out. And then an oval at the end to close it off. And then let's erase that foot line inside. Now let's draw the back of the broom. Let's follow that same curve over on the left side, up like this, and then back in. Now at the end, let's draw a circle. Now let's draw the end of the broom. On the top right, let's draw an S curve up towards the ear like this. And then curve it in at the end. Now let's do the same thing next to it, going slightly higher up and lower down. And then one curved piece at the end to finish it off. And lastly, inside the middle section, let's draw a curve at the bottom. And that's it for Witch Kuromi. Now let's quickly color her in. And done. Hope you enjoyed drawing along with me, and please remember to hit that like button and subscribe for more videos. Thanks for watching!